Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview, Everton versus Leeds United, Goodison Park on Saturday evening. Interesting game, because Leeds obviously come up from the Championship and they've had a decent start to the season. You know, they started really well. They've tailed off in the last couple of weeks. You know, maybe injuries, suspensions, that kind of thing starting to hit. And obviously with Everton doing likewise as well, starting off the season really well, and having a obviously back to winning ways on Sunday. It's going to be a very interesting game, I think, on Saturday.
Tough game, very tough game. You're right, they were unlucky at Anfield on the opening game of the season, weren't they, and lost to a last minute penalty, 4-3, and showed everyone what they meant, what they were all about, and have won 3 of their opening 9 games. So, good start, midway up the table really, where are they? 14th, but the one win off 8th place. So, they've done okay. You're right, they've had a couple of bad results of late, the 3 games without a win, a couple of home defeats and stuff, but Mario Bielsa and his attacking team with his 5 players up front and all that at times make for an interesting watch. It's very, very difficult game. Very difficult game. Yeah,
it's they surprised me. I know teams come up from the Championship with varying degrees of success. Let's be honest. It's mad. Obviously we've had Wolves, who are completely different to everyone else, just because they came up. They'd had a year basically in the Championship as a Premier League team, and they've added to that other structure. Leeds do remind me a little bit of that. Finding the feet in the Premier League, but you can see that what they want to do, and the fact that it was the year before they never got up, even though they had a good side. And again, that probably comes down to what Bielsa demanded of them more than anything else. I don't know if anyone's watched the documentary on them, but in that documentary you could see that the amount of injuries they picked up in that season was absolutely incredible. And I don't know whether last season they were almost helped by the break with the coronavirus, allowing people to settle down a little bit, get those energy levels back for the final games. And I suppose that's where they're going to find it tough this season. But you can see the difference between them and the likes of West Brom and Fulham. It is very strange how teams can be, points-wise, not that far away from each other in the Championship, because it's not like Leeds ran away with it last season. And yet when they come to the Premier League, how some teams are completely so much more equipped and have that understanding. And I think that's maybe where a manager like Bielsa really helps, but have that real understanding of what it takes to be in the Premier League, or the tactics it takes. Whereas some teams, we see Norwich, we see West Brom, Fulham, they come up, and although Sheffield United did a good job last season, it is strange how some adapt and some don't.
Well, he's obviously a very good manager, isn't he? Tactically very astute. Big good spells in France, Spain, went to Leeds, and you're right, to pick them back up after they got so close, beaten by Derby, weren't they, in the semi-finals of the playoffs?
Yeah.
Unbelievable game at Ellen Road, and Derby ended up getting there and then didn't get up themselves. They lost in the final. So to pick your team back up, and when you watch the documentary, you see that they're all flat, but he gets them going again and stayed and got them up last season, and they got that momentum. Whether they will continue this through the whole season, or whether the second half of the season will be a bit of a slog to try to stay up, could go 2 ways with them. If they keep attacking teams like this and catching people out, they could have a very good season. Just look at them and worry a little bit about the quality and depth of the squad, but that's always the case. And you can say that about most teams.
Say that about us easily. I mean, obviously, Calvin Phillips is their big play. Sits in front of that back four. His passing ability is absolutely fantastic. I'd seen you sometimes you hear about players when they're in the Championship and you're not sure about them, and he obviously, I think, did he play for England before he even played in the Premier League?
He's definitely played for England.
He'd been in the England squad, certainly, hadn't he, before he got into the Premier League. And then when I've started to see him in the first few games, just that distribution he's got is unbelievable. It allows them to give him the ball and then you know, whether it's short range or long range, he can open up the pitch for. And the way they played early on, with such a high press, you know, at times outnumbering the opposition in defence, you know, helped by his passing ability was fantastic. And obviously you add that to what Patrick Bamford's done, which again really surprised me, because I've seen him a few times in the Championship and I just thought he looked like one of those players who needed far too many chances to be a good Premier League striker. Yeah. And he's, you know, but listen, the kid's worked hard. He was at Chelsea, he went to Palace, didn't he? And ended up at Middlesbrough, and now he's at Leeds, and he's had a good start to the season. Everything, you know, it's one of those. Everything he hits seems to go in at the moment. So we'll have to obviously look out for him on Saturday and make sure we cut the chances down. But they're a very workman-like side, more than workman-like side. And as you said, then coming into that December time, January time, it's going to be interesting how they deal with it. But on the flip side, what I would say is, coming out the Championship, they'll have been used to playing a lot of games anyway, a lot of midweek games. So it's whether, yes, they'll be used to that, but it's whether they've got the extra ability if those key players are missing.
Yeah, they play 46 games a season in the Championship. Is basically, it is Saturday, Tuesday or Saturday, Wednesday every week, and they will be used to that. But this year's obviously a little bit different. You've had a quick turnaround from when the season finished, and you're playing against better quality than what you get in the Championship. So mistakes are getting punished, and hence why they've had a couple of 4-1s, because you make mistakes, you get punished in this league in general. Most teams have got decent front players who can hurt you if you do that, and that's what they'll find at the weekend. If they make mistakes, Everton have got players who can punish them, so they'll have to be on it. It is coming up to a big period in the season for both teams, and it will shape the way the season goes. But listen, they've done really well, and if you're a Leeds fan, really the aim should be 17th this season, just to make it. You can finish a lot higher, which is great, but just to be in the Premier League again next season, because then you can build. Then he'd have, if he stays another year, I don't know. We know he signed the contract to the end of this season, but then you can build in the summer and bring in a little bit better quality, and then you start to get your bearings, then you can go forward from it. But they've done really well, and like you say, it's a dangerous game this for Everton, because
definitely
these are a team that Everton could quite easily win the game 3 or 4-1, but could quite easily lose the game 3 or 4-1.
I think first goal is going to be so important, because if we get that first goal and Leeds have to come out, I'm not saying they're not going to come out, they're an attacking side, but you know what I mean. If we can start exposing those gaps, but from our point of view, defensively, we've just been in such a mess since day one, really. The goals we've give up are really, really poor, and you know, that's where Leeds will be looking to exploit us. But for us, you know, we moved to a 3-5-2 obviously last week, and it'd be interesting to see whether we keep that up, whether there's a change of personnel, whether someone like Yerry Mina comes out or Michael Keane comes out and allows Holgate back in. I mean, it probably would be Yerry Mina if it was anyone. And you know, with a week of training, building on what we had at Fulham, obviously off the back of only a couple of days training, and start to figure out how we shut down those massive gaps which seem to open every time a team attacks us. That's got to be the fundamental thing, isn't it? You know, repetition in training, getting used to the system. Get that means the midfielders as well, where they need to be, and I think that's what it's about now for us. We know we've got goals in us, but it's about shutting it down at the other end. And if we could do that, which is not, it's not even like, what's funny about Everton is, this is not even a case of, well, you're going to concede goals because you score goals. It's like the two things don't even align, do they? It's like we could easily score all our goals and still have a very tight, ship at the back, very easily. And that's hopefully that we start to see. But and I look at the league and I think we start keeping clean sheets, we'll pick up wins. Yeah, easily. For me, I know that sounds, well, you know what I mean.
No, but I think that what you're saying is for the first time in a few years, you can tell this team's got a lot of goals in it. It's got goals from everywhere. You know, that's how it feels anyway. You know, you've Hammers, you've got the core, you've got his first goal last weekend, but expect him to score more. You've got the front two who will get goals in them. You know, Digne is capable of putting the ball in the net with dangerous from free kick. Well, sometimes with dangerous from set plays. You know, a Wobie, if he plays off the right, you know, maybe way in. So we create a lot of chances, and we are capable of scoring goals. It's the keeping them out that's been the issue. We've had one clean sheet, which was on day one, and we've not done it since. And that's got to become a priority at some stage. Yeah. Because if you can start becoming... Look at Spurs. Yeah. Spurs are built on nicking a goal now under Mourinho and making sure they're tight. And if you then can create for Harry Kane, he's going to score, or Son, he will score. Yeah. But if you keep it tight at the back, they know they can do that. The top of the league by doing it. You know, that's exactly what they're doing. So Everton have got to quickly figure that out, because teams who figure that out generally do quite well in this league. Southampton, another one, are very solid at the back, and they know that they can nick a goal, and invariably it gets them a result. So,
and it's not even a personnel thing, is it? It's more of a shape thing. It's more of a team thing. It's more of, you can't. Okay, you can point your fingers at the weekend and go, yeah, Mina should have done better, or Michael Keane should have done better. But you've got to look at like where the goals come from as well. You know, Fulham's penalty, it's a simple 1-2. It's a runner coming from midfield playing a little simple 1-2. You stop the freeze frame for the second goal they scored. You know, once Lookman goes past Dean, you've got players just all standing around. It's not just one. It's
two centre-backs are doing the same thing.
Exactly, you know, they're in wrong positions. The core isn't goal side of the player who eventually scores. That no one's taking responsibility, and I think that's a big thing as well. People have got to start taking responsibility. We've seen this against Man United as well, where it was like, well, is that mine, man? It doesn't matter, he's unmarked. Go and get him. Yeah. Go and get him. Yeah. And if someone doesn't, someone should be there telling them that they should be doing it. And I think that's where, as a whole team, we've got to get better. Where it's not just, if you can see the goal, it's just not just the old head down, you know, Ashley Williams kind of stuff.
Yeah, we've got to keep clean sheets. Got to get blocks in. Got to be solid. Got to cut the passing lanes off. You know, too often we'll sit off the team and let them pick us off. It's got to be coherent and hopefully cohesive. And hopefully this week, with the work, hopefully they'll do the work all week, and it will be, because like I said before, these are dangerous. But they're a team that's also -3 in the goals, so they're not exactly great at the back themselves. No, they had the 0-0 with Arsenal at the weekend, but could have gone either. I know Leeds were the better team, but Arsenal did have a couple of opportunities, finished the game with 10 men. We will get chances at the weekend. We will. They will as well. So it's a case of who defends the best, I guess. But there's all, like you say, there's goals in this Everton side, and of that we've got no doubt about. We'll score goals. Can we keep them out? Is the biggest thing, and it's a dangerous game. But it's a game that if Everton won, you know, if we're on 19 points on Saturday night, then we're doing all right. We're going into a period then where there's a lot of games quickly, and if you can get a bit of momentum going, you start putting points on the board, you're in it. We could be in a great position then going into the new year. Obviously, you've got to deliver on that by getting results, but what it does is it just pulls us close to everybody. We're 4 points off the top of the league, so these are in the bottom half, and that's not being disrespectful to Leeds, but Everton, if they're going to finish in Europe, surely you'd look at this game and go, well, we're playing a team in the bottom half. This has got to be a win, because it's a home game. I'll quickly depress everyone with just a few of the stats, that's all. Leeds won the last meeting between the two teams, 2012 in a cup game. The last league victory against Everton was in 2001. Everton have had a clean sheet in the last 10 home games against Leeds. Hang on, the last time we played them, we won 4-0, Baz. At Goodison. Exactly, come on, be positive, man. I've just said we've had a clean sheet in the last 10. Man. I've just told you. Everton have lost their last Premier League home game against United. They've not lost 2 on the run since the year before, when we lost to Man City and Sheffield United. Leeds have had 45 shots in their opening 4 Premier League games this season, 11.3 a game, with a goal scoring rate of 20%. Patrick Bamford scored in all 4 of Leeds Premier League away games this season. In the history of the competition, only Thierry Henry at Arsenal in 2001-02 has scored in each of his side's first 5 away games. And since 2018, When Lucas Digne joined Everton, no defender has created more chances than him. He's had 15 assists, creating 159 chances since he joined from and he's obviously a chief creator. He created 5 chances at Fulham at the weekend. So if we can get him and Iwobi into this game, he can cause Leeds real issues, and then it's about getting Richie, Dom in the right areas to score. But tough game, but definitely one we can win.
We've got to try and keep a clean sheet. If we keep a clean sheet, we'll win this game if we keep a clean sheet. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So there we go. We'll see what happens. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments. What are you thinking on this one? Are you optimistic, or are you a little bit worried, or do you think Everton have had their bad run now and are about to turn it round and push on? Let us know your thoughts. Give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you want more great videos, join us over on Patreon, where you get exclusive daily videos, exclusive live daily videos as well. If you want to do it, there'll be a link just around here. Click it, get over there, check it out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.